So just a brief pause. I don't think we can start the meeting until the minutes, so. Just a minute here. Just a minute for the minutes. Okay, so we're on now. Let me just double check. How's it look now? Yeah, he said it's working, great. Great. All right, so calling the meeting to order. When Janice is ready, we'll read the minutes and then we'll go from there, basically.
Ask Google, right? All right, yeah, and then to the right there. Thank you. Okay, minutes from October 6, 24, special meeting. The outside of the building was stained. Checks were sent out to the contractor. The cedar boards were fixed. Parking lot pavement, Peter recommended doing this next spring, so it has, excuse me, time to cure. Downstairs restrooms, vote required. Kindergarten room, vote required. Fellowship hall ceiling painting, vote required. And fencing replacement with vote was required. It was suggested to put some of the funds into a 6-month investment. A motion was made to hold off and take up chances of an increase. A motion was made and seconded to repair the downstairs restrooms. We voted to do one bathroom at a time. I think this is an amount of $1,036 to clean the steeple. Motion was made and seconded to soft wash steeple with a drone. Kindergarten room, Peter suggested to put in an industrial dehumidifier unit to help with the musty smell. It will sit on the wall and help other rooms also. Motion was made and seconded to purchase the dehumidifier. We voted to do this. So Fellowship Hall, motion was made and seconded to paint the ceiling. We voted to paint. Fencing replacement is put off until next year. Pastor Lee made a motion to use some of the money as a tithe or for mission work. Peter suggested for this to go to the missions ministry. The motion was seconded. We voted to send the item to missions. A motion was made and seconded to adjourn at 12:59. It was accepted.
All right, so I believe I need a motion for the minutes, if I'm correct. Sure. Steve motioned. Is that what I said? Okay, so Carolyn makes a motion to accept the minutes that were read. Did you have how many people are here and whatnot? Okay. How many? 22. 22. All right, so the next thing in line is for the motion from the mission. So who would like to present that? Judy? Yeah, you. Where are you going for missions?
We looked at the gift that we were given, $105,000, and as biblical as we could think, 10% of that is what we hoped that you people would approve for mission work. That would be $10,500. We have voted to, or within ourselves, to give $500 to One Great Hour of Sharing or Church World Services, whichever it goes, because of all the tragedy and the stuff that's going on down south where they need help. And $500 for World Mission offering, which we have not taken this year, which we should have. And so that will put us back on track as to when the 4 offerings are done. We would keep $2,000 current and put $7,500 in investing. We hadn't talked about that exactly yet, how, but we're looking into other kinds of mission work that we can do that we don't normally take care of. By having extra money, we can do more work. That's it.
So are you trying to say that some of it's been decided, but not all of it as of yet? Okay, so 1,000, and we're looking at about 10,000, right? Is that 10% of the 100,000? 10,500. Okay, so there's 7,500 left to invest once that's taken care of. Is there any discussion on the floor? Do I have to motion that or just discussion? Okay, so there's a motion for the missions and what Judy said, right? All right, Judy made a motion for herself to accept what she said. Is there any discussion on the floor? All right, a second. Steve again is the second. Well, we have to do discussion to see if there's any discussion on it. Okay, so there's discussion on the floor. Sherry wants to speak.
Judy. Over here. Woo-hoo. Oh, okay, yes. Do you have that already written down on a piece of paper? Yes. Okay. You hope to say
I will give it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know how this is going to go over, but I just have a question. Because I don't know a lot about whatever. My question is, if it was a gift given from Jane for $105,000, all other gifts that Jane has ever given went right to the church, and nothing was split off into missions. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't contribute to missions. I think that's a great idea. But in my opinion, and only in my opinion, do I think that we shouldn't be giving 10%. Because in order to keep this church running, the physical church running, we do need funds. I also think that Jane, and again, my opinion, would want us to keep this physical church running because she was a part of it. So after all the repairs that we've just done, we still have a good portion of money left. So why couldn't we just take, I don't know, 5,000 of that and use the $1,000 that you've decided on where it should go, and then invest the rest, because you don't have something right now that's already thought of.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good idea. I don't know what does everybody else think.
While I value and understand where Sherry is coming from, it is somewhere in the Bible that we should tithe 10%, and I believe that that's what we're doing as opposed to. I believe that mission needs to be one of those important things in the church and in our church family, and I don't think that 10% is going overboard anywhere as far as how much she gave us in total.
I believe too that Jean was a part of the church, and just, this is just conversation, but she would have given the 10% to the church, so we're just kind of following in suit of what she would have done according to the Bible, I think. Does anybody have, I was thinking too, if anybody has any suggestions of where it should go.
Suggestion to us, that's what we're looking for.
All right, so if there's any suggestions, there is a remainder of money right now. So I would bring that to missions if you did have an idea. Linda wants to say something next.
So I know Pastor Lee talks about the missionaries in Pakistan, and they're looking to put wells in, and that's one thing we were discussing. We didn't know we had to bring it to this meeting, but we're discussing like what we could do to help them. So that's like stepping out of our usual mission projects, our four that they give us every year to do through CUSA, but to help us reach out, like we reach out to Cure right now, and to reach out to other ministries that need to be, that God is actually calling us to do. And I think He will provide for the church. I think God will provide for the church, and we can continue to spread His word. So that's
What I believe too is that we're just looking at what they're presenting today, and some of this is going to be further discussed. There is about, how much was it, 1,000 or so that we are planning to give currently. So that's kind of what's on the floor as of right now.
Well,
No,
Right.
to give 1,000,
are we
to
putting
set 2,000 aside
10,500
and to invest the rest.
And the rest was going to be invested anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're going to get to that, but set the 2,000 aside.
To have available for the projects that we're considering.
I think what we were called to do was decide what we thought we should get as mission money. And that's to put the 10,500 for missions. And again, God called us to spread the word to the world, not to make ourselves look nice.
Well, should missions just keep us updated at that point?
We will.
Right, that's what I
But
was
the
saying.
question, the question that I understood, we were to say, this is what we think we need.
Right, currently, right. Well, it's something brought to the floor, and we can discuss that, what we have today.
If that money gets invested, the what's getting invested.
I don't know where my notes went. Let's see my notes. Oh, good. Yeah. So what were you saying, Lori?
If the money gets invested,
Yeah.
with the rest of the money that gets invested, it all goes into the same pot. It holds greater interest than if they're set into two different
Correct,
accounts.
correct. Lori's right about that. What she's saying, basically, if I'm correct, is that Peter stated that he plans on taking the remaining funds, which is what you're talking about, and have Sherry put that into a CD so that it can expand in the meantime.
Right.
So
So
that's
you can say that part of that money will be used for missions in the future, but it
Correct.
goes
It's gonna be separate from that.
Right. But what we're saying is, if you put it all in together right now, it will make the greater interest, even though you say.
But then we won't be able to do missions because we can't, it's gotta be in for so many years. This way, we keep some of it current and we can do stuff that way. And, you know, I mean, we still can we'll get the same, maybe we've got a larger amount, we'll still increase it.
You need to
I'm
put that
thinking,
aside.
I'm lost.
All right, just to recap and make sure. Out of the 10,500 that is being set for missions, well, that's what we're going to vote on. But if that passes, 1,000 will be used for the two offerings. 2,000 will be kept available to be used for other projects. The remaining 7,500 would be invested to be used and the interest for future mission work. That is what's being proposed. And I would like to definitely support that. mean, part of that was my sermon today. It's as we give that our needs are met. And we've always trusted that the building is going to be taken care of, bills are going to get paid. God has always provided over, how many years? 150 some odd.
More than that now.
Yeah, more than that now, right. And just remind us, why are we here? What is the purpose of having this building if it's not missions? And it's not just our community. Missions is part of our calling. So, I would like to just really support this motion.
Sure. So what are we saying that the money that accrues afterwards, like the investment that we get, is that also going to missions? Okay, all right.
Money is there without it.
Right, right. That?
Yes.
We aren't called to fill the pews with members, we are called to fill the world with disciples.
That's what we needed.
What's that?
The $10,000.
Is there more discussion?
I just have a question.
Sure.
That's, all right, so the missions would be 10,500.
Correct.
But that's what, they're getting the 10% of the original gift, not after we invested the remainder of the money. It's, they're, the 10,500 goes to missions.
Is specific, is what you're saying. So nothing additional that comes from that is going to go towards mission. That's a difference right there, so,
But we're taking the remainder,
yeah.
which would be about 70,000. When we take that and put that into a CD, that's not going into missions.
No, what they're saying is that the remainder that's left over from, because they only decided a small chunk of it. Right.
That's how I thought it was. I
Okay.
wanted to make sure that.
Yeah. But I think it's all going together. Are they separate CDs?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would, yeah.
Okay.
not put it all in one pot. But, that doesn't relieve us as people committed here of not doing our missions here. This is over and above because we're looking over and beyond what we normally do. It's just our mission budget, this here is one goes every, week and so on. But,
Is there any general idea of how much we're looking at right now after repairs, how much we have kind of remaining?
After the repairs that have already been completed, we have
I'm listening.
a little over 70,000.
It says that after the repairs, we have a little over 70,000 currently.
Peter, Peter and I talked about this thing, and he thinks that that's. Before we even came up with this, Peter and I sat on the phone and talked about it, and he was very much in favor of thinking that the money we have can accomplish what we wanted to do plus. And, we're not gonna get hurt by giving God money to make new disciples in the world.
Well, I guess there's a couple decisions to be made. Because one is if that additional money from the CD, if that's going to be used towards missions or not.
Well, no, it should be, because if they're giving us that money, we can take it now and blow it if you want.
No, please don't. Please do not. But I'm just trying to focus on, too, what we have going on today.
It was just stated that there are gonna be two separate CDs.
Yep.
One CD will say, this is for missions,
Okay.
and the remainder of what they haven't spent, and the other CD is the other portion of Jane's thing.
Right, right.
So,
Well, in total, whatever it is that it's going to gain, you're just saying in the addition, it's still 10%. Just, for missions. Right, right. I don't disagree.
Well, I think there's only one thing I believe we're voting on today, and what we're voting on is that the missions gets the 10% for missions, end of story. And then, that's it. That's our only question today.
So, With that being said, is there any other discussion? Like I said too, if you do have any suggestions of where you think it should personally go, there is money left, so definitely contact missions if, you know, you feel passionate about something. So we're gonna do the all, do I, motions, right? We have to do a motion to accept that missions gets 10,000 and puts the 1,500 forward to the,
The motion has already been made.
okay.
To give that 10%.
All right, so it's a vote.
So we've discussed, so now you want to vote on that.
Thank you for your help. All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Hi.
All right, great. And those opposed, say no. Are you taking that back? You don't, you're not in favor? or- You are, right? All right.
So the motion still passed.
All right, so the motion's passed. Another update is soon we're looking at doing a deep cleaning of the church. There's no discussion of it right now. We're kind of still collecting numbers and seeing what those are so we can present those. And I have something to present. Because the money is there, I think, my opinion is that me and Pastor Lee should get a raise. Because it's been many years. So I think that's something that should be discussed. You know, because you do have to pay back to the church, and that's a part of it as well. So if that could be discussed, it would be nice. Thank you. I don't think there's anything else for today, so a motion to adjourn. Lyndon motions to adjourn. I need a second. Cheryl seconds it. Have a nice day.